So I'm currently in Northridge. This is where I live. I live in an apartment and I share the apartment with two other girls. So I'm isolating with others. Yeah, most of the time I'm just at home. I was born and raised in China. My parents, I would say they are a little bit more open-minded than other parents. However, they're still a little bit conservative when it comes to career choices and also doing what I want to do. So I'm not sure whether you're familiar with like the stereotype of like Chinese parents, but most of the time they encourage their kids or they force their kids to go into career occupations like being a lawyer, being a doctor. And so when I first told my parents about my thought of coming to the US to study film, they had a little bit of problem with this. So it was like a back and forth of negotiation. For me, it's a big deal to do film. So I convinced them and I came here. Film production, this is Hollywood, so this is the place to be. Has to be Hollywood, right? It has affected a lot of my classes actually. Because for film major or like photography major, a lot of the stuff you learn while having like hands-on experiences, and then just being at home, not being able to have access to equipment or not being able to work with like your group members, it has like a major effect. You don't have like that feeling of a workflow, so you basically just like work at home, and then it doesn't create that urgent feeling of like getting a project done at a certain time. And I think that's very important. I feel like I'm learning less. Well, we're all still like we're all adapting to it, so we're still learning a little bit, but we could have learned more if we can be in the studio. My parents, they're actually doing pretty fine right now. So currently the lockdown is over. People are still pretty cautious when they go out, like they will still wear a mask and then they will wash their hands, but things are getting better, at least like better than here. I plan to visit China this summer, but then because of this coronavirus, my plan got stalled. I personally feel I'm doing fine while my family is not around, but I also have the same concern, like what if I get it? What if I get it? My insurance, I'm not sure how much it can cover, this, and then I don't know where I should go, like who's gonna take me to the hospital, and then who's gonna take care of me in general. Like I have friends here, but I don't want to pass it to them, and also I'm not like really skilled at dealing with the adulting stuff. So that not having my family around here during this crisis, there's like a certain concern, but at the same time I think I'm doing fine. So I think it was like 2 weeks ago I received I'm not sure whether you've heard, but the Chinese government like has sent out the health packages to all the Chinese like citizens like who are studying abroad. A lot of my other friends have, like they're in all over the world, like one is in Spain, one is in the UK, and then so this is like what's in the package. So they have like mask, the surgical mask, and then two like KN95 masks, and then this is the white, and this like the medicines, I think for the cold. I think that while I'm here in Northridge, I don't feel completely safe because like when this pandemic first just got started, when I go to like grocery store and like everywhere else, people do not wear masks. So at first I was feeling pretty unsafe, and I think that the US government didn't respond too well in my opinion. I think they should have at least like started the lockdown measure sooner before it could like spread. That's I think like that's like a good thing that my government did, like Chinese government did. Although the measure was so like it's mandatory, and then it's it's like forcing everybody to stay at home for like a certain period of time. It is very uncomfortable, kind of cruel to an extent, but I think it's necessary. At the beginning, it was like pretty controversial that they were trying to cover up this virus at the beginning, and then it wasn't until like it became a thing that people were like, okay, we're gonna take measure now. But like later on, I think the measures are good, and also like I think the health packages and everything that's very considerate, and I don't know, I feel loved in a way. So I think there are still cases happening here and there, but overall they feel pretty safe now to go outside. And then my mom told me that my parents told me that there's like traffic on the streets right now, so which means that people are feeling more and more comfortable going out. Same goes for my cousins. They also go out from time to time. Like they could go to like cafes, and they could go to shopping malls. It's like it's all possible right now. So yeah, I think it's good compared to here. I think that this is a challenge that we face right now, and everybody is in one way or another being affected by it. But I know that as long as we keep like washing our hands and stay at home as much as we can and reduce the chance of exposing ourselves to others, and also just being in the crowd in general, then we'll get through this. Bye.